Hi, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to my channel. I was made redundant 3 weeks ago and I'm trying to work out if I can replace my previous salary with freelance work and side hustles. So before I was made redundant, I was earning enough to cover my mortgage, my household bills, the childcare that I need, plus anything additional. So general bits and pieces you have to pay for, anything to do with the car, little day trips out, that kind of thing. I had a nice salary that kind of covered everything I needed. Now, before I was made redundant, I purchased a house. A week later, I found out that the company was at risk of redundancy. 2 weeks after that, we were all told the entire team had been made redundant, or the entire company being made redundant, and we have our 2 week notice. And that's it. And none of us were there long enough to receive any form of payout. So that hasn't helped things either. Now, from where I was previously living, which was a ground floor, 2 bedroom flat, I managed to purchase a 3 bedroom terraced house. So my bills have also increased from what I was paying in the flat because there is more space, it's an older property, and it's a larger mortgage because it's a bigger property. So my bills have also increased within this time frame. For a little bit of extra context as well, I'm also a single parent. It is just me and my toddler. So it is just this one income, just me, that is relying on this. I can only work part-time due to childcare restrictions. So can I make this work? Can I freelance and side hustle my way to cover all of my bills? It's been 3 weeks and so far the answer is no, I cannot. But I'm going to sit and go through all of my different streams of income, potential streams of income, and what the plan is going forwards. So to run through my current streams of income, whilst I was employed, I also had a very small freelance client. So I managed to keep that client. So I've got one freelance client that's roughly about 5 hours a week. It's very, sometimes less than that. It's quite a low amount of money, but it's money. I've now got a second client, which I've started with. This is my second week with them. That's about 9 hours a week. I'm doing slightly more at the moment where I'm being trained up on all of their systems, and it'll be down to 9 hours a week. I can only work Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I am full-time parent. And she's at that age now where I cannot work from home. I used to be able to, and that's just not a possibility at the moment until she's out of this current phase and she's a little bit bigger. Other streams of income that I have are a small candle business. My dad's a beekeeper and I sell his honey and his wax, both online through our website and at markets. I can only do markets very infrequently, again, because of childcare issues. Trying to find someone to have my daughter at the weekends is difficult. I will do markets if I can. So that is my third stream of income. Alongside that, I have an Etsy shop where I sell different types of lace and kind of sewing bits and pieces. This is very, very inconsistent. Very, very small amount of money comes through here. Etsy take a whacking big chunk of your profit, essentially, for their fees. And so it is a minuscule amount, but I'm still going to count it. So that's 4. And then my 5th one is now revenue from this YouTube page. I've not had a payout yet because I don't think I've set up the back end correctly, but the money is accumulating currently. And once I've done a full month, I'll be able to report on that month's earnings. Again, it's going to be very low and it's going to be very inconsistent like the Etsy shop, but it is a 5th revenue stream. So that is 5 that I have so far. So I'm going to have to total all of those up and see where I get to. Earlier in the month, I made a goal to try and earn £1,400 through these freelance clients and these side hustles. In May, I made £810, which is not enough to cover the bills. So 1,400 is this target. I didn't have the second client in May. That is, I started them in June. So I do have an extra client. So 1,400 is the goal. We will see where I get to. And then I've also got some potential income streams. I am potentially going to be starting a new business and hosting craft classes. I want to start with craft classes for children throughout summer holidays, see how that goes, and then branch out into classes for adults, possibly in the evenings and afternoons in the week after summer holidays have finished. I also have a couple of gardening clients. So that's a possibility. My sister, who is a gardener, is keeping her ear out for anyone who's asking for gardening work, but it is very, very quiet on that front. I'm also scouring Facebook pages, I'm doing leaflet drops, and it's very, very quiet at the moment. So that is another potential stream. Now, the reality of all of this is that I do have income coming in, luckily, because for a while I only had my singular, very small freelance client and the odd sale from my website or from Etsy, and that was it. So the drop of my salaried income has gone. My goals and my plan moving ahead is to get a third client. I would like to top up and have 3 full days of freelance work. I think having one more larger client or maybe 2 smaller clients to slot in with the other 2 would be perfect for that, and that would take me up for those 3 full days. I do need to do some more marketing on my candles and honey. I'm appalling at marketing and selling, so I do need to work on that and then hopefully get a better, more reliable income from that. Etsy, I'm not going to waste my time on Etsy. I'm going to carry on letting the sales trickle in. The more I look at the reports and how much the fees are costing me, I don't think it's worthwhile doing. I'm not selling high ticketed items with large profit margins. So once I've sold the items that I've got, that'll be it. I won't be continuing with it because I just don't see the point, and the time to income ratio on there, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So I won't be continuing with Etsy. I also need to push on with my plan for these craft classes and hopefully get some bookings ready for the start of summer holidays. I've got about a month to sort this, so I do really need to get on with that as well. I'm also very open to looking into other income streams. At the moment, I do have a few hours free every afternoon when my daughter's in nursery, so I can do some more research and try and figure out some additional ways to get some income. So if you have any ideas on that, please send them my way. A lot of people have suggested taking in a lodger. I have a 2-year-old. I'm not going to take in a lodger whilst I have a 2-year-old. But if you have any other suggestions of bringing in some additional income, please drop them in the comments because I am all ears. If you've been in a similar situation where you've been moving from an employed role to a freelance side hustle, self-employment role, if you want to put in the comments how you found that transition, what you found worked for you, where you found work, or if you have any additional suggestions for extra incomes and side hustles, then please send them my way and I will report back in the next few weeks on what I'm finding works and what doesn't work. But until then, I'll give you an update at a later date. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.